Thank you.
Okay.
All right, we're on with team number 44, Parish Episcopal Team 2 from Dallas, Texas, with Ryland and Jonas. How are y'all doing this afternoon?
I'm good, thank you.
Pretty good. Excellent. Okay, so we have a very unique rover design here. This is one of the first rovers I've seen, definitely the first one so far for me, that's made pretty much entirely out of wood. So why did y'all decide to do that, and how's that going to help you in this challenge?
We've been doing this competition for a while now, and so we wanted to come up with something new, something different, and something that would make us stand out.
Excellent. Well, it definitely does stand out. And the wheels, too, I was told those are cardboard. Is that correct?
They're a mix. They're cardboard and plywood surrounded by Truck Bedliners, which is provided by our sponsor, Truck Bedliners.
Fantastic. Yeah, any other sponsors, other people you want to make sure to say thanks to this afternoon?
We want to thank Mr. Monaco and our other heads of school, and we want to thank our sponsors, Truck Bedliners, KSA, and then Polaris Machinery.
Excellent, great. And finally, what are you most looking forward to out on the course today?
I think I'm looking forward to going down the hill and making it up the butte.
Great. Well, I look forward to seeing how this rover is doing. Best of luck to y'all, and we'll send it back to you guys.
All right, wonderful. Thanks, Bryce. We appreciate it. So excited to have the Parish Episcopal team here. They are a continuing thing we've seen year after year. They've won several awards year after year. They've won the Neil Armstrong Award, and if we just go through the list, you all actually might know. So we're joined by two of them here, as we see right now in your frame. Team number 2, that's the Bangladesh team working their way through the course. Course is long enough at half a mile, a little over half a mile long. We're able to keep 2 teams on the course if we stagger them. And so we'll get the Parish Episcopal team off in just a second. But let's meet the people joining us here in the broadcast booth now. Tell us your name and what year you are in school, please.
My name is Maggie. I'm a freshman.
I'm Nishant Mukherjee, and I'm a junior.
Thanks, Sean. So tell me a little bit about what your strategy was in approaching Rover Challenge this year.
Yeah, so I mean, in past years we've made metal. We've made our frame for our rover out of metal, and so in past competitions we wanted to try things different. And although we approach things, we don't want to fix things that don't need fixing. We in our program we constantly ask ourselves, how can we push ourselves to be better? And with that, we want to make a wood rover. We have great coaches, we have great veterans. This is my first year in Rover. I'm really excited to be part of this program. And so, making a wood rover was something new and something we all wanted to try, and it's been a great experience for us.
So you have a wooden rover. How did that affect the weight of your rover?
Yeah, so we were hoping that we wanted to get it under the 210 pound. That was our goal, to get under 210 pounds to get those extra points. And up until today, we had the expectation of that possibly happening. Unfortunately, we were a little over because of some things that we needed to get our rover to fit in the 5x5 cube, 5x5.5 cube. But what do you think? You expected it to be under 210?
Yeah, we definitely expected it to be under 210 pounds, but the lightness of the rover is what helps it gain speed more than rovers that we've had in the past. So even though the weight didn't show there, I think it's a really important part of a rover that'll make it go a lot faster on the course. So as we said before, this is not your team's first time participating in Rover Challenge, but it is yours. So we're glad that you guys are here and came out for this. So as an award-winning team, not your first time, were there any new challenges that you guys faced this year? I know you mentioned that there were some things that you didn't want to fix it if it wasn't broken, right? But you obviously did some new techniques. So tell me a little bit about those.
Absolutely. I mean, right off the bat, we had questions about, what type of wood do we want to use? How do we want the wood to face? So from that standpoint, there was a lot of early testing that we really never done before. With Metal Rover, we kind of knew what our frame design wanted to be, and then once we kind of figured out what type of wood we wanted it to be and kind of how we wanted the basic frame to look like, from there we went into beam testing, and Maggie can talk a little more about that. But we made so many beam designs, and for a whole month and a half, it just seemed like we were just gonna make beams forever. So yeah, I'm sure you can attest to that.
Yeah. So the very probably first half of this was just testing different beam designs, because the durability of wood was definitely our biggest challenge, because we've never worked with it before in the way that we're doing now. So yeah, we did about 10 beam testing, and before that we did 4 different frame testings. So it's been a long time of testing, but we feel pretty good about the way that it's set up now, and we're glad that we had to go through all that.
Our current beam design, the way we have it is we have 20 inches of overlap between really our front part of the Rover and back part of the Rover, and connecting that like 20-inch overlap is 2 bolts that go through it, and so and it makes it really easy to fit in that 5x5x5 cube because we can just take those bolts out, fold the Rover together. And then we have 2 steel plates that cover it, because in that testing, something that we kind of discovered, off we go, sorry, we kind of discovered that's kind of where the wood breaks, around those bolts. So we put some steel plates over it to shield it and protect it. And sorry, I'm just
No, that's great.
Yeah.
It's the learning experience you talked about. So how did you find out that it was breaking at that point? Was that just testing in the parking lot?
No, it was. We have a weight room, and so we brought it into our weight room, got it leveled about by 2 feet, and put 310 pounds, wrapped it around with the rope, put it level with the frame or our beam, dropped it, and it shattered all our beams except
Beams were completely shattered, except for the one that we added the metal.
Yep.
We realized we needed some sort of reinforcement to it.
Yeah. So that's a great segue into the space launch system, Jenna, because we're talking about testing your vehicles in some way, shape, form, fashion, whether some kind of dynamic testing on it. So perfect example of what we're doing with one of the elements of the SLS is the core stage. We're going to squeeze and push and pull and compress this tank, this large fuel tank that holds liquid hydrogen or liquid oxygen. So it's kind of the same thing you all did in the gym. Is take your Rover in there and give it some weight and see, redline it, max it out, and see what happens. So, but that's part of the engineering and design challenges. What can you get away with? Make your Rover lighter. How do you make it stronger in areas?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, in terms of making it stronger in areas, this is not our first frame. In terms of we figured out what our frame wants to look like, but this design we've had to remake a couple times because, we go too fast sometimes, we hit a curb too fast or a certain way, the wood just completely shatters. And so, or it splits, and so we've had to add certain stuff. So you look at the back right now,
Yes.
It's got supports on it to keep the wood from breaking, to keep the wood from snapping, and so that's something that we knew could happen. So yeah.
Okay, so is it differentiation between the front and the back? Different gears, or is it they both have the same capabilities?
So we're geared higher for our front driver, Ryland.
A little bit over 1, and then Jonas, our back driver, is around 0.8, that kind of area.
Specific sprockets for Ryland go 32 to 34, and then there's you can't see it. There's a transfer axle under Ryland's seat, our front driver. It's under her seat. It connects to a 38 sprocket that connects back to a 34 that powers that right wheel, and then Jonas powers our back left wheel. Jonas is our back driver.
Yeah.
He powers the back left wheel, and his gear ratio is from 32 to 36.
Yeah.
All right, so the Parish Episcopal School team from Dallas, Texas comes here year after year. Excited to have them here, 2 teams. And we get a chance to see the course, and we've heard a little bit about the design of the Rover, and that's the design tackles into some of the components of the obstacle course. Do you want to have high gear, low gear ratio, different kinds of torques so you can attack that Martian butte? Do you want to have a wide wheelbase? You can see right here if you see the shots of the wheels. The wheels are 6-7 inches wide. That's great so you don't get stuck, kind of digging into sand. It's kind of like that friction surface area. You want a wider area. And you got off the start line as they hit the the transverse incline right there. Yep. You got off the start line well with some speed. You seem to be doing well. What do you think so far?
I like it. Today I really like it. Today our goal was, we don't want to be too conservative. We want to do as many challenges as we can. But with that being said, our first priority is finishing and getting it done within those first 7 minutes. So there are some certain ones that we bypassing, like right there. That's something that we knew that the design of our Rover wasn't quite designed for, wasn't quite made for some of these obstacles, and we fully know that. Our drivers know that, and whatever decisions they make. Those are the decisions that we're comfortable with. We completely trust their decision making, and as kind of they're driving along, they make those decisions on the fly. Yeah.
All right, awesome. All right, stay right here while we go back to the start finish line and meet our next team.
Hi, I'm here at the start line with team number 20. Tell us where you are and what your name is.
My name is Melvin Reyes, and we are from Puerto Rico.
And your name is?
Maria Isabel.
Thank you. And tell our viewers how many years you've been doing this.
I've been here like 5 years doing these cars and the competition. And it's very interesting because every year is different course and different obstacle. And that's very awesome.
Yeah. Have you had any issues or problems this year with your Rover Challenge that you've had to get over to prepare for today's race?
Yeah, this year this Rover was a big challenge because when we do it, we think different, and when we measure the car, the pedals, they are not exactly the size that has to be. And we start to do other things to fit the size in the right way, and that was very hard.
You got it straightened out though, right? We wish you good luck today. I hope you do well, and we look forward to seeing you at the finish line.
Wonderful. Great job. Thanks. We appreciate all our roving reporters are helping us as we have the Dallas Parish Episcopal team, number 44, just across the finish line. You got a great shot of it right there from the overhead camera. They did a great job. Great shot of the Rover. This is a physical challenge. You know, these teams.